Good evening and welcome to the Arsenal Alliance season review. We're just going to have a little hour's worth, 45 minutes an hour. We're going to just sum up the season, how we feel about it. Arsenal fans, I've seen a lot of meltdowns about the season over the course of the season. Lots of praising, lots of meltdowns, lots of opinions. And we're just going to give ours, just round it up. And we've got with us tonight the one and only Anthony, the YouTube whore, as he's got on his name there, and we've got Lawrence all the way from Vegas.
No,
How you doing, Lawrence?
Los Angeles.
Oh, sorry, Los Angeles. I thought you said Las Vegas. Sorry.
No, sorry, it's easily done.
Los Angeles. He guested on the show a couple of weeks ago, and he's kindly come back again. How you doing, Lawrence?
Yeah, I'm all right. Glad the season's finally done and dusted.
Yeah.
Got these meaningless international games now. And saying that, we've got this tournament starting out in a couple of weeks called the FIFA Club World Cup. Yeah. I don't know if you've heard about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't like international football full stop, mate. I mean, I only follow the World Cup and the Euros when it gets through to after the group stages. Then I start paying attention to it because then you start getting a bit closer to the finals and people start getting excited, especially in London. Excuse me. Well, all cities over the world, I should imagine, but over in the country, sorry, I should imagine. But especially here, my little part of London, no one really gets excited until that sort of stage. You know, when we're going into the round of 16 and the quarterfinals, things start eating up, and you know, you never know what might happen. But England, the way they played football in the last, even though we've got some finals and semi-finals, whatever, the last few tournaments, the football and the Southgate weren't great, and it's just sort of put me up with international football for life, I think. But anyway, we're not going to talk about international football now. We're going to talk about the Arsenal. Close again. Well, I say close. Runners up again. 10 points behind Liverpool in the end. A poor showing, if you ask me. I mean, I don't know what you think about the difference in the style of play this season. Start of the season, I thought to myself, you know what? He might have learnt a little bit from the last 2 years, being a bit more. He was very direct when it was fast paced. It was quite exciting football, if you ask me. But we just missed that. And I thought it was a sort of a clever thing to do in the start of the season, where we sort of managed the games, I thought, a little bit better. We weren't so erratic. We weren't so gung-ho, bit more controlled. But ultimately, it's turned out to be quite a big mistake because the football was terrible this year, even though we finished second. 10 points off the pace, though, for me, is unforgivable. And it's a regression. What do you think? Let's start with you, Anthony. What do you think about it?
Well, yeah. I mean, you just mentioned it. 10 points. I mean, obviously, with 10 points, we know that's 3 wins and a draw. The points are getting more away from the top. I mean, you look at it. Man City won the league twice. They've beaten us to it twice. So you know, and the points weren't that bad then. I mean, obviously, you know, I know we finished second, but points weren't that bad. We tried to obviously compete. I always say on that season when we lost to Aston Villa, you know, when we went to that season when we went to Dubai, come back, we started winning games, and then for some particular reason, Mikel Arteta changed the team round against Aston Villa, and we lost. So if he wouldn't have done that, he would have won the Premier League. You know, it's that simple. But I mean, this season, I don't know. I just if I mean, I'm not Arteta. I'm not Arteta fan, as you know. You both know that. But the only credit I can give Arteta last season was finishing in the next stage of the Champions League, was a semi-final. I know we beat Real Madrid that game. I did say to you, I said if we didn't win the Champions League, I said it wouldn't have, that game would have meant nothing. But in that game against Real Madrid, you've got to give credit to Declan Rice. Personally, I think he was my best player of the season.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. Him and Gabriel, you know, the best two. captain and vice captain, as I call them.
Yeah.
But regarding the league, the Premier League, do you know what? I was on a show last night and I rated it. I rated our for the Premier League. I rated 4 out of 10. I couldn't even give it half. I couldn't even give it a 5. I give it a 4. And for the Champions League, I give Mikel Arteta. In all fairness, I did give him an 8. I think I was feeling kind last night. I had a good day yesterday, so that was the reason why I give him an 8 out of 10 for the Champions League. But regarding now, obviously, same as Lawrence, I'm glad the season's finished, is over with. Do you know what? I've been reading as well, Lee. Obviously, Mikel Arteta and Berta's had their first falling out or disagreement. Berta wants to sign Gyökeres. Arteta wants to sign Sesko. It looks like it might be. It looks like
we are going to talk about that. We are going to talk about that in a bit, but I just wanted to sum up the season in this one, Anthony. We're going to talk about who we would prefer, but I'm sorry to cut you short. But I just want to get Lawrence's feelings on the season overall first, and then we can talk about who we've been linked with. And before we do that, let's just say big up to AFC always. Kevin Benson in the chat. How you doing, sir? Found us live. BX Gunner, greetings to you too. PSG so wide was the best, beating Inter Milan in the final.
Yeah,
great defensive team Inter Milan, but Dunham, was it 5-0 or 5-1? What was the score? I can't even remember.
5-0.
5-0. So let's go to Lawrence. Lawrence, sum up the season in your words, mate. What did you think overall, and what went wrong? What went wrong?
Everything went wrong from last summer when this clown of a manager didn't bring in enough signings to the club. That's where it went wrong.
Yeah.
We knew what we needed last summer, right? Everybody that I know told me we had to bring in at least 6 signings to give us a chance. And while every other Premier League team lined all their ducks up in a row and were signing every Tom, Dick and Harry that was available last summer, what were we doing? We were sitting on our asses, twiddling our thumbs, struggling to get 2 signings over the line, one of whom we didn't even need at the time. Okay? And from that first game against Wolves, I had my reservations whether we were going to mount a challenge.
Yeah.
Why do you think he changed, Lawrence? Why do you think he changed the style of play? What, in your opinion, do you think he knew that he's going to have to work with what he's got do you think he knew something about, because we didn't sign enough in the summer?
Well, I think that was
it. Fuck all in January as well. Yeah. Do you think he knew something?
I don't know. I just think the whole summer, if you remember at the end of the previous season, he told everyone that finishing second was not an option.
He did.
Which made me believe that the club were going to go all out to strengthen the squad.
Yeah.
And as I said, while everyone else was bringing in 4 or 5 signings to strengthen their teams, him, the Arsenal transfer department or whatever you call them, the PR team, whoever's in charge of transfers at that club, just dragged their hands, right? Did absolutely bugger all, right? And as I said, they struggled to get in Calafiori and Marino, right? And a week after Marino signed us, what happens? He breaks his shoulder.
Yeah.
It's just typical Arsenal, right? And Calafiori, we didn't even need to sign Calafiori.
No,
whatsoever. That was not a necessity. The necessity for this team to move forwards was to bring in a striker. We failed to bring in Vlahovic, who was unavailable to us. We failed to bring in Gyökeres last season as well when he was available.
Well, Vlahovic, I'm glad we didn't sign Vlahovic because he turned his nose up a couple of years ago and went to Juventus, didn't he?
But it's just I've just got no faith at all in this manager whatsoever. I mean, I've just been reading online that we're in discussions to sign a scout that used to work with Berta.
Yeah,
they're making a big deal of that. What about signing these players? You're looking at all the big clubs. They've already signing 2 or 3 players already. What are we doing? We're sitting on our asses again.
Well, apparently, we're going to talk about transfers. Apparently, the Zubimendi deal was a here we go from Fabrizio Romano. Said it's a here we go. I've done a video about it a couple of weeks ago. So I was just waiting for the 1st of June, for it to be confirmed. But I made myself look like a complete.
Yeah, I know, because now he's saying, he's saying I've got other options. It's not a done deal. And somebody I know back home who's well in at the club, he told me that the reason why this deal is taking such a long time is because Real Sociedad need to balance their financial books, and they want to delay the signing until the beginning of next month. Okay, whether that's the truth or not, I don't know. But I don't believe all this bullshit until I actually see the player holding up a shirt with his name on the back of it.
Yeah.
And he's shaking Arteta's hand, because I'm tired of going through this every year. It's the same thing. It's a cycle. Every year we go through this, right? We've got these dickheads in our fan base who get a hard on when they see we're linked with someone. And what do? They superimpose that per player's face onto an Arsenal shirt, and they post it onto Facebook and Twitter as if they've already fucking signed for us. And lo and behold, what happens? It doesn't happen.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is the problem. This is the big problem with this club. It's not only the manager, the owners, the PR department, but it's these pricks in our fan base who know nothing about the club. They think that this club was founded in 2019 by this clown.
Yeah.
They don't realise that this club's been around for 140 years now. And it's the same shit year in, year out. And I'm tired.
It gets a bit boring, doesn't it? When it's just rinse and repeat. And
it's always the same fans. It's the overseas fans, who've got no knowledge of the club.
Or sometimes it's rival fans, as Kevin Benson has just said.
Yeah.
Second best club on the planet over a season. Stop fucking complaining. You done good. We didn't do good, Kev.
Yeah, but what do you win for finishing second?
You don't win nothing. And listen, Tottenham, we said it last time about Tottenham qualifying for Champions League, finishing 17th, but winning a trophy. So we argued about who had the better season. Got the same prize, mate. You qualify for the Champions League and you've got a trophy. Don't matter if you finish 17th. So
and now they're
basically they had a better season than us.
And now they're playing PSG in the Super Cup as well.
If they win this, they won't beat PSG. They get smashed to pieces.
But you never know. Who would have thought they'd have beaten Man United?
Well, Man United have been terrible this year as well. Let's just go through some comments quickly. Only news we're going to receive all summer will be dragging out Zubi for the whole window and debating Gyökeres Sesko. While our rivals sign players left, right, and centre, trust the process. Yeah, BX Gunner saying second best club on the planet. What the fuck? Yeah, I agree with you, BX Gunner. We wasn't the second best. We wasn't even the second best club in the league, if you ask me. I think Newcastle were close to being the second, although we finished in front of Newcastle. They beat us 3 times. They beat us home and away in the cup. They could have beat us home and away in the league as well. If it was coming to the end of the season, and we had to get that win for pride only.
Yeah.
Was it 1-0? Was it that game?
1-0.
It was 1-0, and we played shit. I remember the game; it was terrible.
I'll tell you what, mate. I'll tell you what. Well, we're not going to finish second next season.
No,
Rest assured that. Not with this clowning charge.
This team we've got. Listen, if we get a striker, the team we've got is good enough to win the league. You know, if it's coached right, and I think some of the players we've got are unbelievable. We've got some great talent.
You see, getting a striker is not just about getting a striker. We've got to sign the striker. That is what we need to sign, is the striker. Now, it's like what I said.
The striker, though, are we? We're not going to get Isaac is the striker.
Yeah, but in all fairness, you think of it. I don't want Sesko because his stats. That's Havertz. That's Havertz stats. We discussed it. I told you that on last show. What is it? 38 games, 13 goals, and 5 or 6 assists. No, I don't want that. That's Kai Havertz ratio. I want a striker to score 20, 25 goals. And I tell you what, I think there's one striker that can do that. And Napoli don't want him. That's Osherman. Osherman, I want Osherman. I'm 50-50. If we get Groceries, fine. If we don't get him, okay. Yeah, I want Osherman. And also, right, people, I don't know why, but we can get Jonathan David on a free.
I heard that.
Yeah, we can get him on a free. And Lee, in all fairness, he's played 33 games because he was injured a little bit last season. He played 33 games, 17 goals, and I think he got about 7 assists.
Yeah.
So do you know what I mean? So if we, but trouble is though, Napoli wants to get rid of Osherman. Napoli also wants to go in for Jonathan David. So what I'm saying is Napoli gets Jonathan David, that brings up a certain Osherman. Napoli wants to go. We can get him for 50, 55 million Osherman. Napoli will accept that.
Good business.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, the only signings we have made this summer are an 18-year-old kid from Blackburn.
Yeah.
And now they're talking about some Greek kid who plays in Belgium.
But this kid, he reckons from Blackburn. Mikel Arteta reckons he can go into the first team and score lots of goals. I sent that to you yesterday, Lee, on WhatsApp.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I thought you was winding me up, to be honest.
No, that's
why I didn't reply. I thought he's having a bubble, this geezer, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Arsenal's transfer strategy, 5 to 6 months of being linked to the one player, 1 month of closing in on the player, opening up for 50% less, asking price, 6 weeks of negotiation, target signs for rivals. That wouldn't surprise me. Man City are signing players. They ain't signing players. What's happened with their 115 charges? I never know.
I know. It's funny because we were led to believe that a verdict was going to be made in March. And now we're at the beginning of June and still nothing.
No. It's gone a bit quiet on that front as well. No one's talking about it.
Nothing will happen because Man City, I'll tell you something now. It's like Man City, they make the Premier League that. They make the Premier League money. So in all fairness, what will happen to Man City? They'll get a fine. And I guarantee you that's it. I would have said they should have had a fine and started on something like -10, maybe 15 points for next season. But I can't even see that happening. So they'll get a fine, a little slap on the wrist, and they'll start buying in these players.
Well, they've got to get a point deduction because Forest and Everton didn't they? Was it not Forest?
Everton,
and there was another team.
Forest.
Leicester.
Forest.
It was Forest. Yeah, it was Forest.
Yeah. Okay. In saying that, I've heard that there's another 15 charges against Man City that they're investigating.
Fucking hell. Well, I heard it was about 4 or 5 charges, but 115 counts of the same charges. If that's what it added up to.
Yeah.
This is how I heard it was done. So Kevin Benson's been watching the Arsenal since '79. Your time will come again. Hopefully, Kev. Hope you're right, bro.
Not holding my breath.
Nah, not. I don't think so under Arteta. I think he's took us as far as he can. I've been saying it for the second half of this season. I know Anthony's called me a flip-flop since he's been on the show. But I have been a bit of a flip-flop, and I have admitted it, because at first I didn't want him. Then I did it for the first 3 seasons. I thought, no. But then 2 years ago, when we finished runners-up to City, and then the last year when we was runners-up again, I was thinking, fuck me, he's turning this club around. We're progressing. We're going to, this season, talking about this season, if we don't go and win this league, I'll be shocked, because City are fucking falling off a cliff. What happens? Liverpool come from nowhere under Arne Slot in his first season, sign one player who hardly played all season, Chiesa, and fucking win the league by 10 points.
Yeah.
It just shows you that all this fucking all the fuss about Mikel Arteta, he's been there fucking 6 years, 6 seasons now, or 5.5 seasons, and Arne Slot's done it at his first attempt. It's just, I mean, it's just experience that tells you he's done his apprenticeship. And I don't want him to continue. I mean, there's a lot of people who are saying that they just give him till Christmas, give him 6. I don't want to give him no more time.
And to
I really don't.
And to add insult to injury, the women's team have won the
Champions League. Yeah, absolutely.
With a woman manager who only got the job 6 months ago. Yeah, right? Because they fired. What's the bloke's name? Eidval, who was the manager of the team.
Yeah.
Yet the club fired him and brought in a woman to take the job, right? And she goes and wins the Women's Champions League. And this clown is still in charge of the men's team and has won fuck all in 5 years.
The thing is, he has got the team. He's got, like, obviously, not a striker, but the rest of the team. But people are moaning and saying the players ain't good enough. But I think a lot of them are. We've got, look at the Miles Lewis-Skelly emergence, Wanyeri. If he uses these players properly, correctly, all right, it's Lewis-Skelly he has, but what's happened to Wanyeri? He weren't playing him when Odegaard and Saka, when they was both, either or was injured, he wasn't utilising them enough. He did for a few games. When Saka was out, he come on, replaced Saka, scored about 4 or 5 goals, exactly the same way, cutting in onto his left foot. But when Odegaard was out, why didn't he use Wanyeri in the 10?
I heard he's fallen out with Arteta. Apparently, he was late for training. And
ain't hard to call that Arteta when you're dealing with a narcissist in charge of your club.
Yeah,
man, the players. Look, how many players have fell out of him? There was Guendouzi,
Aubameyang.
Yeah, I was going to say Aubameyang next, and there's Ozil. There was a lot of players that fell out with Arteta. The Mari apparently fell out of him, the defender. Who was the left back? There was another left back. I can't fucking think. I can't think. Was it Monreal when he first come? Was it Monreal?
No, Monreal had already left, hadn't he?
He already left.
There was another player I remember just right at the start of it that he fell out with. But it's just the way he's. I don't know. He seems to be very opinionated and very single, tunnel vision.
He thinks he's bigger than this club. That's his problem. He thinks he thinks the club is named after him.
Mm.
He thinks he's Billy Big Bollocks, and he ain't.
Do you know what, Lawrence Lee? I've actually come up with something. I think Mikel Arteta is going to be our manager for a while, even though I don't want it. But if you remember the other day, right, our ex-player Cesc Fabregas is the new manager of Inter Milan.
Yeah.
Right? So I'll tell you something now. If Cesc Fabregas wins trophies with Inter Milan, I could see him being our next manager.
Oh, God.
But I don't want Mikel Arteta any longer at the club like what you do. But in all fairness, people like from high up, like whether it's directors or whether it's the owners, they're thinking up here, aren't they? So in all fairness, I think we'll see Mikel Arteta at our club for a while. I think you're saying. I think, Lawrence, I'll be honest with you. I'm talking 3 or 4 seasons down the line.
Well,
I really do.
I've heard it from other people that it's going to get toxic next season because people have had enough of this shit. And it doesn't matter if the owners want to keep him for another 3-4 years. If we get off to a bad start and we have to go through this again, right, it's going to be mayhem, right? And it's going to be nothing compared to what happened to Wenger in his last days, right? Because fans have had enough of this shit, right? And if the owners aren't going to do anything about it, the fans are going to air their opinion in public in such a way it's going to embarrass this club.
It is.
Okay, let's just catch up with the chat. Your academy needs to give you some more legends. Sure they are there. We've got some great players in the academy. What's that kid's name? The midfield player. What's his name? Everyone's talking about recently.
Dowman.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
You heard the rumours.
Be absolutely fucking brilliant. He is.
You heard the rumours that Man City and Barcelona want him.
Yeah,
I haven't even heard that. No, I haven't.
Yeah, they're looking at him.
Oh, see, you know, if they're looking at him, you know, he's warm, don't you? He's mustard. Our players weren't limited; rather, it was the manager who was limited and his tactics. Exactly, it was the manager. I'm blaming the manager absolutely for the failures this season. Guendouzi, he was one of the players that fell out with Arteta. This makes Arteta 10 million times worse, by the way. How can you spend 750 million after 5 years and not make one final? Forget trophies for second. Well,
forget trophies for a second, and it's like what he said. He couldn't even get him to a. That's what he's saying. A Carabao Cup final, an FA Cup final, a Champions League. final.
Look! Someone's having a go at me here, or having a go at us. How you doing, Stefan? Ortega, someone here. Where's the moderator? What does he say? Get off the internet, pond life. What's pond life mean? Get off the internet, pond life. All right, you get off the internet, keyboard warrior. Evening, Lee, Anthony and Lawrence. Evening, how you doing, Tony? Hammers Football TV. While we've got Tony in the chat, we're going to say his channel. He's a West Ham fan. Got a channel much the same as mine. Gets plenty of traction, plenty of viewers. Great channel. I love his channel. It's really good. If you're a West Ham fan or if you're a football fan in general, Anthony guests on there as well. Go and check his channel out. It's a blinder. And Lawrence as well. You've got some socials. If people want to hear what Lawrence has got to say, you're on Instagram. Are you on anything else?
No, nothing. I don't have a YouTube channel. So if anyone is got their own podcast and they need someone to talk to, I'm available.
He's on, and is it your name when I come off the comment? Is your name your handle on Instagram?
No, it's once a Gooner, always a Gooner.
Once a Gooner, always a Gooner. That's his handle on Instagram. So if you need him on your channel, he's happy to do so. Just message him and get in touch with him that way through Instagram.
Lee, I've got to be honest with you. Tony wants to have a bet with you.
With
Tony, with you. He said, out of you and him, because you're very close, you're pretty much roughly on the same subs. He said the first one to get to 1K has got to put a £10 super chat. So if you get to it, if you get to a 10, one keep for him, he'll give you a £10 super chat. Or if he gets to one keep for you, you've got to give him a £10 super chat.
All right, that's a deal.
Is that fair enough? Is it?
I mean, I haven't got the watch hours he's got, so I might not be monetised before him.
No, it's just getting to that 1K.
Oh, okay. All right, so you put that in the message. How do I put that? I don't know how to put that in the normal chat.
I'll put it in the comments so everyone can see it.
Yeah, put it in the comment section here. Then do that. So AFC always. What phase is Enrique in? Are all them players over 6 foot? Does he have a dog? Did he go to Dubai? How many defenders has he bought? Where's the light bulb? And did he play Inter's anthem? Did he use pickpockets? Yeah, all them crazy things Arteta did. Playing the "You'd Never Walk Alone," wasn't it? When we was playing Liverpool at the training ground during training, he was playing. Yeah, it was mentalness, pickpockets. Got a dog called Win. What else was it? What other crazy shit did he do?
Yoga.
The light bulb.
The light bulb. Yeah, he's mentioned that.
Yoga. He's missed out yoga.
Yeah, he's got yoga there, hasn't he? Did he put yoga in there? Oh no, he's not. Enrique got rid of Messi, Neymar, and then Mbappe, and here's the result. Didn't need to spend. Yeah, but you know why? He got rid of all the egos, didn't he? It was each and every one of them wanted to be the main man, and I don't think they got on. But each and every one of them players, Messi, Neymar, and then Mbappe, needed their own stage.
Yeah.
And Tony would agree with me. When you had back in the day, you had a great team. You know, you had Michael Carrick, Joe Cole, Jermaine Defoe. A lot of them players, I'd say mainly Joe Cole and Michael Carrick, they needed their own stage as well, I believe. They needed to be their own. You know, Michael Carrick saying at West Ham, Joe Cole going to Chelsea, that was a move that I thought was going to happen anyway. But I just think that players like that, when you can't have too many big talented players who think they're the main man at the club. You can't have too many of them around because they clash. They don't get on. They try and outdo each other. And you got to manage a football team like there's got to be an hierarchy as well. There's got to be respect. And when they're competing against each other in the same team, they don't respect each other that way. And I don't think it works. I don't think it clicks. That's my opinion, anyway. I mean, it worked for us with Henry and Bergkamp, but I think because Bergkamp was more humble, and there weren't no ego trip with him. It goes on personalities as well.
Can I ask you two guys a question?
Yeah.
What do you make of Thierry Henry being slagged off by the fan base for what he said about Arteta?
I think it's a disgrace. Now, I've done a video. I didn't hear what was said, right? Let me just tell you this. And I ain't even bothered. This is the truth. I ain't even bothered listening to what Henry said. I don't give a fuck what he said. I don't care what he said. He's entitled to say whatever the fuck he likes, Thierry Henry. Right? And if he wants to slag Arteta, right? Arsenal fans that want to slag Thierry Henry off ought to be fucking kicked out of the club. You can't. He's a legend. He won the title at fucking White Hart Lane. For fuck's sake. And at Old Trafford.
He's been getting death threats from some of these so-called fans of ours.
Yeah. What fans are they?
Yeah.
They're not Arsenal fans. They're not Arsenal fans, in my opinion.
Well, it's obvious what fans they are, Lee. They're Arteta sexuals. That's what they are. At the end of the day, if you want to threaten a legend at the club, and I mean the word legend, because he is an absolute fucking legend. I guarantee you, these are young fans.
They've got to be.
I bet you they're young. They've got to be. They're pussies. They're sending death threats and all this. Keyboard warriors that are like all on the messages, all on the phone, all on social media, this, that, the other. Yeah. Right? I tell you what, it'd be nice to actually if they get caught and they were pulled out. And I tell you what, people could name and shame them.
What's happened then? What's happened to, when them unfortunate riots were going on and people were saying things on social media and getting 2-year prison sentences for it? Same thing, just saying about the killer. I'm not going to say what there wasn't. You know what I'm talking about. They were just saying shit like that. There wasn't similar things like death threats, whatever. So what's happening with that now then?
Yeah. Just to give you an example of something similar that happened. This is non-football, but it's similar. I don't know if you've heard of Tommy Robinson.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
He did. He got death threats against him and his family by some dickhead, right? Because who didn't like his opinions, right? So what did Tommy Robinson do? he found out where the bloke lived, right, and he drove up there to confront him. And he went up to his house, and it was his mum's house, right?
Yeah.
He knocked on the door, right? His mum says, "Oh, he's not here, right?" He said, "Oh, where can I find him?" "Oh, he's at the pub." So he went to the pub, right, with his camera crew and confronted him, right in the pub, right? And he was a pussy, this guy. "Oh, I didn't mean to say that. It was out of order for me. I should never have said what I said. I just don't agree with your opinions." So it's just the mindset of these dickheads.
Of course, cowards. That's why they're called keyboard warriors. Because when you confront cowards, their arsehole hits the fucking floor. You can smell it running down their fucking legs. Cowards. Because they know that nothing's going to come on top for them.
Yeah.
They know nothing's going to come on top for them. They know Thierry Henry's not going to knock on the door and put it on them. They know that. What's he going to do?
Yeah.
What's he going to do? I mean, they're educated in that anyway. They're educated in how to deal with social media bullies. There's kids fucking hanging themselves because of these people like them.
Yeah.
You know, there's kids in school killing themselves because of these fucking cowards online. They wouldn't say it to your face. They wouldn't say it to your boat race, mate. They wouldn't. It make me fucking sick, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, let's just read these last couple of messages here, and then we'll have a little chat about Cesco and Gyökeres, and then we'll go on and then we'll round it up. Why Arsenal fans that disagree with Henry isn't an Arsenal fan? They support Arteta. Yeah, but why? Arteta played for Arsenal. I know he wasn't great, but he played for Arsenal. But he's allowed to criticise the club, and the manager has to be criticised when he's wrong. The manager, I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't work it out.
Can I just sum up Mikel Arteta, right? He was shit when he played for us, right? He was a panic buy. Arsene Wenger brought him in after we got smacked 8-2 by Man United.
Yeah.
And the problem is he needed to strengthen the team. And he left it late until transfer deadline day. And he went to buy Mertesacker, Arteta, and Andre Santos, and brought in Benayoun on loan. And as I said, Arteta was shit as a player for us because all I can remember was that he missed a penalty against Fulham that cost us 3 points. He got sent off in the Champions League against Borussia Dortmund, and the rest of the time he was injured. We hardly ever saw him, right? So, as you know, I never wanted him as the manager, right? And like 10 years later, he's shit as a manager. He's proven, right? Everyone says he's the best manager in the country. You're having a fucking laugh, right?
Yeah.
You're having a laugh. And I don't know if you saw the video I posted on Instagram where the Liverpool fans are taunting on Arteta at Anfield. Best team in Europe. You're having a laugh. And that's it. You know, this man is so full of himself. He's deluded. He's so
He makes terrible decisions, like in the press conferences, moaning about the ball, the size of the ball. There's another thing. I can't go over it all. I mean, he had a point when he moaned. See the referee? Was it Michael Oliver or was it Kavanagh? One of the refs that he moaned about. I know we had some harsh sending offs, kicking the ball away. You didn't see a lot of that.
No,
you didn't see a lot of sending off after the Arsenal boys, Declan Rice and Trossard. You didn't see a lot more of that. There was yellow cards, but there weren't many second yellow cards for kicking the ball away. There wasn't many of them. Yeah. But anyway, he had a pop, didn't he? And then since then, the sort of like the whole pundits, the whole sort of football community that you see on telly, pundits, the PGMOL, you know, I can't remember the name. Who's the top ref?
Howard Webb.
Webb, everyone turned against Arteta and Arsenal, and the hate Jason Cundy, people like him, Jamie O'Hara, Simon Jordan, what's his name, Jim White, all of them, all the commentators, they all turned.
I seen that video today of what's the guy's name, Jim White.
Yeah, Jim White on TalkSport.
He had Martin Keown on there as well, and. Jim White said to him, Keown, he says, "Why are you so biased towards Arsenal? You know, And Keown took offence. I mean, Keown is the most, in my opinion, I've never hated a former player as much as I do Martin Keown.
He's frustrated.
Shit. He's on Arsenal's payroll, basically.
Yeah.
So he won't have a bad word said against the manager.
And Ray Parler. Ray Parler's on the payroll as well.
Parler, David Seaman, Ian Wright, to an extent. I mean,
but you know, that's not what I've got the problem with. I understand what I do. I get what you're saying 100%. But Keown's the only one that is, I think he means it. You know, when Parler, you can tell that they're saying that they want to say something, like, especially in right, you can tell that he wants to say something else, but he's sort of keeping it to himself a little bit more. Yeah. But with Keown, like with me, to me, it seems like he actually 100% believes it as well.
Yeah, Keown, he thinks he's a better player than Tony Adams. What is he fucking smoking?
Yeah. Well, don't get me wrong. He was a good centre half, but nowhere near Adams. And the best game I see him play was against United when Nistelrooy missed the penalty and he fucking just jumped all over him.
He launched,
frightened the life out of him, didn't he?
Yeah.
Arsenal need to follow the Knicks lead. Arsenal need to follow the Knicks lead when they sack head coach.
That's the New York Knicks.
The New York Knicks.
Yeah, basketball team out here.
Oh, okay. All
right.
Sack the man already. Martin Keown said Wenger arrived at Arsenal 97-98 when we all know it was 96. Yeah, it was 96.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
On another note, Eagle, our favourite Arsenal aficionado, thinks Robin Van Persie came through the Arsenal Academy.
Oh my God, bloody hell. He was a £2 million buy from Feyenoord. He was a £2 million buy for Feyenoord. And I tell you what, he was a good player. And when he was on the bench, he could come off the bench. When Henry was playing up front, he could change a game. He can change a game.
Fucking pissed me off, though. He pissed me off, Van Persie. He weren't great. He had a great season. He had the last season before he went
one great season, But what I'm saying is he could come on off the bench and change a game, Van Persie. But I do agree with you. He had one good season. He scored 30 goals and then obviously went to Man United, right?
Yeah, and then won the Premier League.
It's like when and it was like when we had Bergkamp and Nicolas Anelka up front. People don't realise Nicolas Anelka cost us $500,000. It was 500,000 he cost us.
What did we sell him for? 25, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, Real Madrid. I think it was either 25 or 22 and a half.
Yeah, we
made one of it.
Big money in them days.
We made money. We always made. But this is what I kept saying to you, Lee. And this was going back a while. Obviously, when we was doing our shows and all that. Why is it that when Wenger bought players, we made money on them? Fucking Arteta brings in players. Yeah, we can't make any money on them. We got to sell them for less.
We did lose towards the end of Wenger's tenure. We did. There was players running their contracts down, and we was losing them for nothing, weren't they? I mean, we couldn't get hold of that. We couldn't get them to sign a new deal so we got value for money. There was players that were leaving for free, weren't there? Towards the end.
Well, there was, but I mean, like you think of it, it's like how much would you pay for him now? We bought Lokonga for 16 million.
He's going. I see that today. Was it Lokonga or was it?
That's
Tavares? It was one of them two players. They're going. They're being sold.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the players that are leaving, right? There's those 3 22-year-old kids that I told you last time. They're going. And yet he's signing an 18-year-old from Blackburn Rovers.
Yeah. No, it's...
Don't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. And this is I'm going to tell you this now, but I had a little... Not an argument, but backwards and forwards. And... I done a video and it was about between Gyökeres and Sesko. Obviously, I want Sesko. So I don't want to. We want a player in his prime, a player that's banged in like 30 plus goals for 2 years running, Not we don't want another project striker like Sesko, like 21, not scored a lot of goals.
You didn't realise what you just said. You just said you wanted Sesko. You made a mistake. I know you don't.
Right.
But yeah, you said you wanted Sesko.
I wanted Gyökeres between them two, and they was trying to argue with me, but Sesko's playing in a harder league. Like because he's playing in the Bundesliga. It's a harder league than the right. Fair enough, but he's done it in the Champions League. That's a top level. Right, Gyökeres has played in the Champions League and has scored goals in the Champions League. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So and he's played in the Championship, which is an hard league.
Yeah, his best one was his last season when he played for Coventry.
He's got about 25 goals for Coventry, didn't he?
25 goals for that season for Coventry.
Right. So what are they trying to say then? What is the point? What was the point he's trying to make? The player, he's scoring plenty of goals. Well, it might be an easier league in Portugal than the Premier League, but he scored goals in the Championship when he was last in England, and he's scoring goals in the top competition in Europe.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, but there's another thing as well, and I'm not saying this is a fact, but it is a fact. But just think about it more. Darwin Núñez, Benfica to Liverpool, played in the Portuguese league. He can't hardly score. He can't hardly.
Yeah, but Núñez didn't score goals in the Champions League or
no,
the Championship.
I know he didn't, but he was a good player for Benfica. He scored goals. Hence, that was the reason why. How much did he go to Liverpool for? Was it something like 75 mil? Something like that. But then again, you think of it, he can't do it in the Premier League, can he? So, but there are some Arsenal fans that's actually said this about Gyökeres as well. Could it be an omen for him? Could it be another Darwin Núñez going to Arsenal?
You can say the same thing about Rasmus Højlund.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, listen, but all right. Well, I get it. I understand. I get the point. But ain't any player you buy from any European league taking a chance on. If you're not buying a player that's like Isaac, would be perfect. He's Premier League ready.
Yeah.
You know, and for us, I think he'd fit in like a glove. But we're not getting it.
Weren't we linked with him at one time?
We didn't buy him.
Yeah.
Surprise.
We didn't buy him. We thought all and ahh'd about it, and then Newcastle just got him.
Arsenal rejecting to bring in a star striker. That's a shock for you.
Yeah, we and ahh'd about it, and then look, the rest is history. Look how well we've done at Newcastle. And DJ Edzzy. Yeah, Ozil, Lacazette, and Pepe. Yeah, Pepe was 70-odd million, weren't he?
Well, he was actually 50 million, but Sanelli bagged an extra 20 million for himself.
Okay. Yeah. But real Sanelli, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Which brought up to 72, and then
we know that Ozil.
Didn't mind Pepe. When he
I don't think Ozil cost a lot of money. I think Ozil was wages he was on about 300,000 a week, weren't he?
Yeah.
Arsene Wenger gave him a contract before he left. Ozil, and it was like it's either 250 or 300 grand a week. The season that Arsene Wenger left the club, he gave Ozil that massive contract, and since he got that contract, he just should
have given that contract to Alexis.
Well, he wouldn't have left for United, but when he went to United, about a week later, he wanted to come back, didn't he?
Yeah.
He wanted to come back.
Because what was it? A swap for Mkhitaryan, wasn't it?
Mkhitaryan.
No.
Did we get some money as well?
No, it was a straight swap.
God, fuck me. That was terrible business, man.
Yeah.
That was terrible business. But we have had some poor players. Anyway, so let's just ask you, you know you want Osimhen, but if you had a choice, Anthony, between Sesko and Gyökeres, going by Gyökeres only played in the Portuguese league, so he's not going to cut the mustard when he comes to the Premier League. Going by what a lot of Arsenal fans are saying, backing Arteta for picking Sesko because he's played in Germany, which is a harder league. Who knows? Who would you pick? I'm going Gyökeres.
Okay, I'll take the flip flop. But I think Gyökeres. I would definitely out of the two. I would say Gyökeres, but for me, as you know, and I've already said it on here, is Osherman for me. But out of them two, it would be Gyökeres. Yeah,
Gyökeres. Who do you go for, Lawrence? And we've got John Cooper in the chat saying us that we're ungracious and entitled. We're just fed up with coming second, mate. We want to win trophies, bro. Who do you support? Who do you support? I bet you ain't a Tottenham fan. Go on, Lawrence.
I don't know because they haven't proven themselves. Neither of them. I don't know anything about Sesko, and all I know about Gyökeres was that he played for Coventry when they were in League One. So I don't know whether he can cut it or not in the Premier League. Maybe he can. Who knows?
Yeah, not you three. You say.
Yeah.
Who do you support?
Trouble is, Lawrence. I got to be honest with you. Gyökeres, he first started in the Premier League when he played for Brighton, right? And and basically what Brighton did, they loaned him out so many times, right?
Yeah.
And then I think he actually went to Swansea City on loan as well.
Yeah, he did.
And he ended up scoring a few goals here and there.
What does that tell you about him if they kept loaning him out? They didn't think he wasn't worth
it didn't work for him. Back then, the Premier League was too hard for him, and he had to dip down into the Championship. And it's like what I said: his last season for Coventry, he scored 25 league goals in the Championship. Then, obviously, Sporting got hold of him. Yeah, I think he went for about. I think it may have been about 17 mil at the time, or something like that, 18 mil. But do you know what I mean? And obviously, the Man United manager now, who was the manager at Sporting at the time, took him under his wing, and he did play well. But people are right. I think the Portuguese league is so low standard. Apart from Benfica, FC Porto, and Sporting Lisbon, they're the three best teams. The rest of them, pick and choose what you like from them, because this is the reason why he was scoring so many goals in that league, because the standard of the other teams were so low.
What about Scottish Premier League then? We've got two teams
that's the standard
in there. There's two. And
yeah, but
we got Tierney from Celtic, and I'm telling you now, he was the best left back at Arsenal since Ashley Cole.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that, 100%. 100%. But the trouble is, though, with the Scottish Premier League, that's equivalent to our Championship, if not League One.
Yeah.
So, all right. So if Tierney can get straight into the Arsenal team and make a difference, why couldn't Gyökeres then?
Because for starters, it's different positions. Different positions for starters. And the other thing as well, Kieran Tierney, and I'm going to be honest with you, he wore his heart on his sleeve.
Absolutely did. He absolutely did. I loved it. Brilliant. He's left the club now, isn't he? He's left the club. Jorginho's left the club.
Yeah.
You know who I'd rather see at Arsenal if he was available, and I know it's going to rattle a lot of people. I wouldn't mind Harry Kane.
I knew he was going to say that. I knew Lawrence was going to say Harry Kane. I mean, congratulations on him. He's won his first trophy, hasn't he, Harry Kane with Bayern Munich, won the league with them. But, I mean, in all fairness, Lawrence, he's an Arsenal fan.
Yeah. He was he was in the Arsenal Academy when Liam Brady was in charge, right?
Yeah.
So was Jamie O'Hara. That's why Jamie O'Hara hates on Arsenal so much, because we released him because we didn't think he was good enough.
The only reason he left was because Brady thought he was too fat.
Yeah. I heard that. Absolutely criminal.
If he was available, I'd have him.
That's a difficult one for me, man.
He's not on his side, though, is he? Harry Kane's like, what's he now? Almost 32 now, isn't he, Harry Kane? So, do you know what I mean? Age is not... I know age is no concern sort of thing, but what comes with it is going to come still a dear transfer fee and also the wages as well. And then when I think Harry Kane, he'll most probably only have about 3 seasons in him, maybe 4 at the most.
But it was the same with Jorginho, right?
Yeah.
Jorginho was 30 when he joined us. So, yeah.
You've got to be winding us up, AFC always. Have you seen this comment?
God,
Kepa. Oh, mate. BX Gunner 81 would take Harry Kane all day long.
Yeah, but with
why am I
Kappa,
hearing the Jackanory theme in the background?
yeah. West Ham wants Kappa as well because West Ham are crying out for a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
And also the Chelsea one as well, Sanchez. They're crying out for him as well.
What, Jadon Sanchez?
Yeah, the Chelsea goalkeeper. West Ham as well.
Oh, I thought you meant no. Oh, sorry. I got confused for a second. I'm thinking of Sancho. No, the winger. No, the keeper. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. But then again, there's talks that we might need a new goalkeeper. I've heard that's been said on lots of streets. Do you think that we need a new goalkeeper?
Yeah, of course we do. We're not going to use Neto, are we? What?
No, I know, but they're on about it obviously with Rea as well.
Yeah, well, the keeper they're after, he's been chased by Barcelona.
Yeah.
Garcia.
Why didn't we just keep Aaron Ramsdale, mate? I don't know. Why didn't we just keep him? Why did we sell him and then just get? He's on loan Neto as well, isn't he? He's on loan.
Who?
He ain't our keeper, Neto.
No.
Yeah. He's gone back to Bournemouth now.
Yeah, exactly that. So I mean,
yeah.
Come on, man. The club's being run it's been run terribly. Jonathan David, hang on. Gyökeres is a natural goal scorer. We have Rory saying he's a natural goal scorer. The chances we create with bad goals. I just want to end this show soon, but I just want to just a final thought on the season. Odegaard. Just want to ask. Let's start with Lawrence. Let me just read these messages, and then we're gonna have a little chat about Odegaard because I've been coating him off all season. You know how I feel about him out there in YouTube land. Can't have him. I can't have him at the club. I can't. He's fucking getting on my nerves. I think it's. I don't want him. I really don't. I think he's terrible. He's terrible. Just in the chat, let me know. Buy or sell. Keep or sell. Martin Odegaard. Let's start with you, Lawrence, and why.
I don't know if it's just a loss of form or if he's been carrying an injury all season because I heard he's been getting injections before games. You know, I mean, I don't like making excuses for anyone, right? But you know, before this season, he was a decent player for us. I'm just sitting on the fence in regards to this.
You're sitting on the fence.
No,
That's all right.
I mean, yeah, I can understand how you feel because he has been poor this season, right? But if you remember, he got injured at the start of the season.
No, I get that. But the only way I'd keep him...
Like I said, I'm not here to make excuses, and I admit he's been poor this year, you know. Yeah. And as I said, I've read that he's been on injections. He's been taking injections to kill the pain before a game. So I don't know if that's affecting his confidence. If it continues next season, get rid of him.
Captain or not captain?
Definitely not. I'd have Gabriel. I don't know why he was made captain. Honestly, never wanted him as captain. You know, you need a born leader, and Gabriel is that man. Yeah.
Oh, listen, I've got two captains in mind. I think you all know anyway. Gabriel's one of them. So, Anthony, let me just read these comments, and then we come to you with your thoughts on Odegaard. Jonathan David on a free. Yeah, he's available on a free, Edsy. Kane is a goal scoring machine. Yes, get Obalek.
He used to play for us. He used to play for us, didn't he?
Obalek.
Yeah. But was it him? But no, what's the striker we was after? And he was after. He played for us. I think Wenger bought him, and we got rid of him, and he ended up. He scored around about. I think he scored about 20 goals now.
Not Gnabry, Serge Gnabry. He's a winger.
Gnabry.
No, not Gnabry. No, not Gnabry. There was a player like that. There was a player similar to that name, Arsene Wenger. Who?
Who does he play for?
Oh, do you know what? I can't remember now. I don't know if it's somewhere in France or Germany. He, Arsene
Balogun.
Wenger.
Oh, okay.
Arsene Wenger bought him. We got rid of him, and apparently he's been banging in some goals, like scoring 18, 20 goals a season.
So no go.
No, it's not Samogo. No.
Campbell.
Okay, so let's just go through the chat, and then you can give us your thoughts on Odegaard. Since Arteta's been here, he's 2 goalkeepers every season. He's been poor. I think Rory's talking about Odegaard. Sell him and get Eze. No market for him. So they're all, a lot of people here are thinking, you know, Odegaard ain't it. Keep for another season at least for depth of it. Yeah, for depth. If he's on the bench, then yeah, keep him. He come on and might be able to do a little job like a Mohamed El Neni sort of job. You know, Mohamed El sideways, Ronseal player, does what it says on the tin, can fit in here and there. But you need someone better than Odegaard, I think. I would get Grealish and sell Odegaard. Yeah, Grealish is going to be sold by City. I've heard that as well. Even to your brother Richard.
Yeah, Rich.
He's not a captain in BX. No, absolutely not. Rory, vibes, moments. Rice needs to be captain. He's my other choice. Gabriel, Magalhaes or Declan Rice. I think I've lent towards Declan Rice just a little bit more because he's an experienced captain. He was captain at West Ham, weren't he? And I believe he's going to be Harry Kane's replacement as captain for England as well. I've got a feeling he's going to be the next England captain. So captain for me for Arsenal would be Declan Rice. Cucurella is about to get cooked by France. Okay. Lucas Perez, yeah, I remember him.
Lucas Perez. Yeah, no, it's not. It wasn't him.
I think it was a Japanese player that Wenger signed. I can't remember the guy's name.
Inamoto?
He had problems getting a visa.
Was that Inamoto? I remember Inamoto.
Oh, it was after Inamoto. Yeah. Asana was his name. Like, because we signed him at the same time as Rob Holding.
Yeah, no, it wasn't him. It was I think it was definitely it was a white guy, maybe.
Yeah, is that it? Akpom?
No, we want Akpom. Oh, God. I'll have to. I don't know. I'll have to. It was a young one. Wenger signed him. He was actually like Wenger scouted him and seen him and brought him into the club. And he didn't very often.
Was it Jose Campbell?
No, it wasn't Campbell. No, it wasn't Campbell.
Oh, Joel Campbell. That was, wasn't it? Joel Campbell.
Yeah, it wasn't Joel Campbell.
Yeah, but he did though. He went and played in Germany. Was it Borussia Dortmund or someone? Joel Campbell. He went and played in. Oh no, was it a Greek team actually? I remember him going abroad, Joel Campbell, and smashing it, coming back, and then we released him.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up after the show, and I'll put it in the comment section because apparently he did. People said about going getting him for him. It was actually rumored as well.
Oh, Birith, that's it.
That's him.
Who?
That's him.
Birith.
Yeah, that's it. He was a Wenger boy. He was a Wenger boy, and apparently he scored some. He has scored quite a few goals apparently, and I can remember him. Obviously when Wenger signed him.
Oh wow!
Can you remember that, Lawrence?
I'm gonna have to call it a night because sold him last season. But Arteta signed him, sold him last season.
Yeah, must have sold. Yeah, he got rid of him, and he ended up scoring. I think on average, he's got about 18 to 20 goals or something. He scored.
He's smashing it in Monaco. At Monaco.
That's it, Monaco. That's the one. Yes.
Wow. Well remembered, Rory. Well done, Rory.
Well done, Rory. Well done. I can remember reading it. I did read it. It was actually I think it was on an Arsenal website or something like that. I think I read it on, but yeah, he's apparently he's doing really well.
He played for Fulham.
Yeah, he did.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, I'm gonna have to go. Say
okay,
I've got someone coming round.
Yeah. Right, for me, I'll make it really quick. Odegaard. You want to know me on Odegaard?
Yeah, go on.
I don't like. I think he's had a shit season. I don't think he's at the standard of our club level. I think he should be a bench warmer. And for him, I want to see Nwaneri in his place. And I don't want Mikel Arteta playing 4-3-3 next season. I want him playing 4-2-3-1 formation. And I guarantee you, this is what we need for next season. We can't play 4-3. He's got to change something. Change the formation, bring in the right players for that. Because Zubimendi and Declan Rice and whoever in the middle, I don't think that's going to be the perfect three. You've got to have two DMs in front of the back four.
Well, we'd have Partey and Zubimendi with Declan Rice playing in the 8, couldn't we? They might do that. You never know. You know what? You know. You never know. But I think that'd be a solid midfield though. Zubimendi, Thomas Partey, and Declan Rice.
But then again, you're seeing Declan Rice in the number 8. That's actually Skelly's rule as well.
Yeah, Skelly, yeah, of course, yeah. But Skelly's going to be a left back, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's going to be left back. Lawrence, thank you again. Appreciate you coming on. We'll be back. Should we come back in 2 weeks? Should we give it 2 weeks? Let's see what's going on in the transfer window. We'll come back in 2 weeks' time for the live show. We're going to do a transfer update every 2 weeks or something if you're interested, Lawrence.
Sure.
Anthony, I know you'll probably be on board with that, but we're not gonna flood it with too many rumours every week, and I'm not gonna do transfer daily like AFTV every day, blah blah blah. But we could do a roundup every couple of weeks.
Yeah,
talk about the players we've been linked with and the summer moves and other clubs signing players as well. So our competitors, let's see what they're up to. So thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate you coming on the show, Anthony and Lawrence, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks, everyone out there.
Okay, thanks. Cheers.